Jerry Tucker. If you mention Jerry Tucker, a lot of folks around St. Louis would say, well, yeah, he was the head pro at Belle Reef Country Club in 1992 when the PGA was here. Well, that's true, but there's so much more. He mentored 14 assistants who became head pros. He played in 19 major championships. He qualified for 23 National Club Pro Championships, 17 Senior Club Pro Championships. He has 13 holes in one, and get this, he has set 24 course records. Jerry won the PGA of America Match Play Championship in 1991, or 1999, excuse me. He's been named the Gateway PGA and the South Florida PGA Teacher of the Year. Now, he's a rules guy. Speaking of that, Marcella, he's a rules guy, served on the PGA of America Rules Committee for several years. Jerry has been inducted into the Southern Illinois Golf Association Hall of Fame and the Gateway PGA Hall of Fame, and tonight into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. There's one other thing that caught my eye when reading his resume. He was a teaching pro at Trump International Golf Club for several years. With Donald many times. Gave lessons to Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka. I wonder if Donald ever cheated. We'll find out maybe. If I played with Donald, I just wanted to mess up his hair one time. Just reach in and mess up his hair. Take that hat off. Please welcome the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, Jerry Tucker. Interview Jerry. Skip Berkmeyer, one of the legendary amateurs in Missouri. Skip has played in 30 USGA events, won the Missouri Amateur title 3 times, Player of the Year 11 times in Missouri. Welcome, Skip Berkmeyer.
All right, good. Peter and Jay are over there, so I can behind.
That's right. We're going to talk about them.
Who knew Marcella was going to be a tough lead-in? That's pretty good. You know, to be all honest with this, is I'm doing two. I'm going to do Jay here in a second. And you talk about two different personalities. So I called them both last week and I said, hey guys, what you know, it's your night, what do you want to do? And I got two things completely different from either one of them. You get Jay, we'll figure it out. Jay Williamson, we'll figure it out, we'll have a good time, it'll be fine, no problem, we got it covered. You talk to this guy over here, I said, what do you want to do? I'll be, you know, Greg, you can do what you want to do. You can do the whole speech yourself. I don't have to interview you. You're a really talented guy. Knowing Jerry, though, no, I'll do the interview, that's fine, but I'll send you the questions. He's so organized and so thoughtful on what he wants to say and how he wants to say it. So I do have some questions, but I might have a little different, you know, here. So I do want to ask, my question that I brought to the table with this is, if those who know St. Louis golf really well, you have, in this area, you have a lot of Gateway professionals that come from Southern Illinois. There's many here tonight that are friends of yours, I know that. So what the hell is in the water down there that you guys are coming up here and rating our area and bringing a lot of talent to our area? I'm just curious where that came from, or how do you think that is to be?
I'm sorry you figured that out. We hatched a plot back in about the 80s. Garth Bear, Sean Barnes, Barry Emery, Bobby Pavlonis, the Tucker boys, to take over this town. And we've just about done it, and you probably might have to build a wall to keep us out now. We're not going to pay for it. Learned that from my old boss.
Well, you know, I want to lead in with this question. My little story when it comes to you is that 23 years ago this year, on the advice of my mother, good advice, that I followed, she suggested I was struggling with my short game to go see you. And like many people that I'm going to ask this question about, I went and saw you, and you helped me with my wedge game, gave me a lot of confidence, and it qualified for my first USGA event two weeks later, because of what your works. Now I know there's a lot of people here that you've worked with, particularly the Hall of Fame guys that are getting in here tonight, and maybe even a story about Jay or someone else. What do you got on these guys? Any dope?
I don't remember you at all back then. No. Now he's played in 30 some odd USGA championships. I do kind of have a connection to everybody, and if you want to know about those guys, for instance, Jay Delsing, I gave him a putting lesson. A couple weeks later, he beat me in a playoff to go to the U.S. Open. Peter Jacobs, who comes to Mount Vernon and breaks my course record. Anything else you want to know about? No, I was. Marcella, you were always nice to me, and you're a legend, and congratulations, by the way. The rest of these guys, I don't know, but no, I was lucky enough to work with both the Jays over here, and hope I helped them a little bit. Very proud of their great careers, so that was neat. As far as Peter, Ed Curtis hired me to my first job. He's sitting over there somewhere, and everybody knows Ed, but in Mount Vernon, Illinois, and he said, we're going to have a pro-am with 10 pros, and here's this small town, pros have never been to Southern Illinois. We got Peter Jacobson, Mark O'Meara, John Cook, quite a group. And the night before, at a cocktail party, it was 1982, so Caddyshack had just come out. We're doing, you know, it's about a 7-iron, about 195 yards, and I'd only been able to hear. So I thought I was okay. Then Mike Liu, the hockey goalie, did it better, and of course Peter did it best of all. So I said, Peter, have you ever done Carl Spackler in your routine? He does the greatest swing imitation routine and the neatest thing in golf, I think. And he said, no, I've never done Carl Spackler. So the next day at the clinic, he does his routine, imitates Arnie and Tom Kite and all the Craig Stadler and all the guys. He was just awesome. And without telling him, I had my superintendent, I got the, I think it's called a scythe, the tool that Carl Spackler swung with. And I handed it to Peter. And then, don't even tell him. He gets up there, unknown superintendent from Mount Vernon, Illinois, first time in Augusta, tear in his eye, I guess, and he does the swing. It's just unbelievable. He's looking great. One more. And Jay Haas, Jay, I only played with you one time, and it was the most nervous I ever was, Jay. How about that? Remember that 1978, Bob Colby brought in? Oh, it might have been because of the other guy he brought in, Sam Snead. We were playing Sam Snead too. Maybe a little bit of Jay. But I got on the first tee, and I said, you know, I was 29-year-old assistant pro, but I said, oh my God, my heart starts pounding. I said, what if I whip this ball? And I said, or what if I just tow it and hit these people over here? And I didn't even care about the score or the tournament. I just wanted, my car was about 50 yards away, and I'm like, I'm going to be out of here, you know. So anyway, I got it off the tee, and then I made a 9 on the 5th hole. I hit 2 balls out of bounds, three-putted, and now I'm 29. Jay's like 22. He's consoling me the rest of the round, you know, while we went around. But Jay Haas is maybe the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. So that's what I would say about him.
Now, Ron stole my thunder on the Trump stuff, so we'll get to that in a minute. But, you know, Belle Reeve is obviously one of the reasons you're going into this Hall of Fame. I mean, I look at other professionals that have been here in St. Louis, and I told Jay Randolph Jr. on our show a couple weeks ago, I think of the ultimate, the people that you look up to the most as far as master professionals. You've done that, and you're able to do that at Belle Reeve. What would you talk about your time? I know it meant a lot. I mean, if you go down to your compound, I remember staying in your compound. Your darn code was 1992 to get in there. So you had a lot. Obviously, Belle Reeve was a special place in your life.
No doubt about it. Steve Jansen. Steve's here tonight too. Him and his committee hired me, and he probably saw something in me that I didn't know I had. And I don't know if he knew he was going to get 35 years of Tuckers and still counting there, but I hope that worked out okay. But certainly, Belle Reeve was a dream job. It's a great family club and one of the greatest golf courses in the world. And obviously 1992, PGA was the highlight, among which I got a call from my idol, Arnold Palmer, and he said, would you like to play on Friday before the PGA? And I said, well, I'll see if I can work you in on it. No. And but we played. My dad's 2 sports heroes were Palmer and Musial. As he walked over a bridge, I had a shiver going down my back when my dad was with Arnie there, and so that was awesome. Matter of fact, on the 3rd tee, though, Arnie teed up with a yellow tee that said pencil. And so I said, Arnie, I know we were joking around back there, but I started playing golf when you won the Masters in your 3rd Masters in '62, and I said, you said I use red tees. I'm showing you my red tee. I said, I use red tees as a tribute to you because you said in your book that you always use red tees and you drank a Coke in the middle of the night. And he flashed that big grin and said, well, now I use yellow teas and I drink a beer in the middle of the night. Anyway, so he's the best. So, and I got lucky enough to play with him 3 times. It was just spectacular.
Well, I know, and I want to give you time to talk about your wife and your family a little bit, because different professions bring on different responsibilities as far as the time constraints and different things. And you've been able to have a partner in your life for 42 years. I think it deserves some time here to you talk about it.
Well, I certainly do, and I obviously can't go without mentioning my brother Mike and how proud I am of him at the job he did at Belle Reve, as well as Joe Schwint, one of my assistants. When I decided to leave Belle Reve and try the senior tour a little bit, the club asked me what they thought I should do, and I had my little plan, and I said, well, I mean, we just got a 94% satisfaction survey, and I think you should hire Joe and Mike as the co-head professionals. And I remember Mr. Ross was the president, and he said, well, we like the guys, but don't you think we need one guy in charge? And my closing line was, well, yeah, but Augusta National's done it for 23 years, and so I think that helped, and they hired them, and they've done a great job. I'm proud of both of them. But yeah, my wife Susan. My wife Susan is here, and last year, I'm not romantic enough, I know, but last year I sent flowers to her office. She's an accountant, and I said, happy anniversary, I love you, we've had 38, thank you for 38 wonderful years. And a couple of the girls are looking over her shoulder, and they thought that was so nice, and Susan said, yeah, well, we've been married for 42. I mean, and I'm a statistician, but 38 out of 42 is good in any sport.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's a Hall of Fame kind of guy. That's what you are. All right. You got to go with the Trump story because we have a kind of common guy. I know the guy that caddies for him a lot, RJ.
Rock, yeah, and Rock too.
So he's a good player down in Florida, so I know him. So I'm curious your impressions here. You got to give one story.
Okay, so I did play with him 10 or 12 times. He's fun to play with, and even though I'm a little left of everybody in this room, but anyway, so maybe 10, 12 times, gave all the kids lessons. But one Saturday before Easter, Trump comes in. I think it was my last year teaching there, so I thought I'd tweak him a little bit. He said, Jerry, can you play with me and Rush Limbaugh tomorrow? So I go right then, I go, well, yeah, but I voted for Obama. He says, well, don't tell him that. So anyway, we played, and I knew I'd like Rush a little better if I played golf with him, so I didn't really want to play with him. But anyway, we did, and I don't know if any of you have ever used the term, but if you hit a shot way right, some of us say that's a Rush Limbaugh. Okay, so now he doesn't really interact with us much because he's got cochlear implants in both ears. But on the 14th hole, Rush hits one way right, turns to us, and he goes, "That's a Pat Buchanan." So anyway, but I'll tell you something amazing about Donald Trump. He never has missed a putt inside 5 feet.
He's solid, huh?
And he's never had a bad lie in the rough.
Jerry Tucker, St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.